If you are thinking about making the move to the San Fernando Valley, there's a few things you're going to want to know before living here. And I've compiled a list of 11 facts that you're going to want to know before making the move. Now, I made the move to the San Fernando Valley and lived in the Encino neighborhood specifically, and I lived there for about 6 years. Prior to that, I lived and grew up in the West Los Angeles area. Now, keep in mind, growing up in the 80s, 90s, and then throughout the 2000s, the Valley kind of had a little bit of a negative connotation. And if you're from the West Side, you didn't dare make the move into the Valley, and Valley people really didn't want to be associated with the West Side people.
And hell is like the Valley.
But now the San Fernando Valley has become one of the most popular areas and regions to live and grow up in the greater Los Angeles area. Now, the San Fernando Valley is surrounded by 3 mountain ranges and a hillside. We have the Santa Susana Mountains and San Gabriel Mountains to the north, and you have the Santa Monica Mountains to the south, as well as the Hollywood Hills. And that's what creates the valley. Now, no spoiler alert, but later on in the video, I'm going to go over some key local names and terms that you're going to want to know when making the move here. And the one is the Valley. We don't refer to it as really the San Fernando Valley. People just know it as the Valley. There's about 1.8 million people that live here. It's about 300 square miles. And it used to actually be its own city until it was annexed in 1915 by Los Angeles and then became part of the greater Los Angeles landscape. So let's get into these 11 key facts that you're going to want to know before making that move to the San Fernando Valley. Now, the first thing you're going to probably want to know is what the cost of housing is in the Valley area. Now, the San Fernando Valley is huge, as I mentioned it before, so there are many different regions with all different types of price points. So the numbers I go over with you are going to be the median price points for pretty much the entire San Fernando Valley, and then I will separate 2 of the regions just to give you a little bit of an idea of the difference in price. In another video, I will go over specifically the cost of living in San Fernando Valley, which will include housing, utilities, daycare, cars, insurance, taxes, and so forth. But for now, in this video, we're going to keep it to housing. Now, the housing market in Los Angeles is pretty wild. If you don't live in the area, it is expensive.
Prices are so high.
But relatively speaking to the rest of the Los Angeles County area, the San Fernando Valley is actually one of the least expensive areas to live in. But again, it's all relative because, again, if you're not used to the housing market in Los Angeles, these numbers will be shocking. But if you are in the LA area, in other parts, then maybe the prices actually will seem a little bit of somewhat of a bargain. So we'll start off with single family homes in the San Fernando area. We're talking about a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, around 1,800 square feet. They're selling for about $975,000. Now, a condo in the same valley area is about a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, around 1,200 square feet for about $570,000. And as I mentioned, the San Fernando Valley is made up of many different areas and neighborhoods, and including a couple of cities within itself that will have various price ranges and price points. But for people that are used to the Valley and know about the Valley, we know there's a big divide between living north of Ventura Boulevard and south of Ventura Boulevard. One of the main reasons, two of the main reasons are, one, Ventura Boulevard kind of is the dividing line of where the hills start. So when you get into hillside property, you get larger pieces of land, you have views, it's a little bit more spread out, so you're going to be paying more for that. It also puts you closer to the west side area, making it more expensive. So we're going to start off with prices that are north of Ventura Boulevard, and then we'll go south. So the median price for a house north of Ventura Boulevard, we're talking about a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, 1,700 square feet. We're looking at around $915,000. For a condo, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, about 1,200 square feet, we're looking at about $550,000. Now, you're gonna see a big difference when I mention these house prices south of Ventura Boulevard. For a 4-bedroom, 3-bath house, around 2,700 square feet, the median price is going to be about $1.9 million. For a condo south of Ventura Boulevard, you're going to be looking at a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, around 1,400 square feet for a median price of $770,000. So you can see the discrepancy just living between north of the boulevard and south of the boulevard. And as a reminder, I'm Dave Fine with the Real Estate Dads right here in Los Angeles. We do tons of videos of what it's like to live, work, and play right here in the Los Angeles area. So make sure you subscribe, tap the bell to get notified every time we drop a new video, and hit that like button so that many people who are thinking about making that move can also see the video. Now, we are getting tons of people reaching out to us about relocating to Los Angeles, and we absolutely love it. So if you are thinking about making that move, hit us up with a phone call, a text, an email, and we'll make sure we help you and guide you throughout your move. All right, now let's talk about commuting, because this is something you're going to want to certainly know before moving to the San Fernando Valley. We talk about traffic and commuting a lot in this city.
What is this traffic?
Not just San Fernando Valley, but all of Los Angeles, because we are such a heavy car culture here that we rely on our cars a lot. There's not a very good mass transportation system here, and there's just a lot of people here. So if you are someone that's not really keen on sitting in traffic, you may want to rethink your move to the San Fernando Valley or just Los Angeles in general. Or if you're going to make that move, make sure you're going to be living and working and playing in a close proximity to each other, all in the same neighborhood or at least close by. Now, I will tell you the San Fernando Valley has 7 different freeways that connect the entire valley itself. That tells you how large of an area we are talking about with the San Fernando Valley. To the north, the freeway is going to be the 118 that runs east and west. Down in the south, the east and west freeway is the 101. Your north and south freeways are going to be the 405, the 210, the 5, the 170, and the 134 goes east and west as well. Now, I bring up these numbers and they probably don't mean much to you, but when you get here, they're going to mean a tremendous amount to your commute and how you get around the San Fernando area. Now, the 405-101 interchange, that freeway right there, is the heart and soul of the freeway system. That'll connect you to pretty much any parts of the San Fernando Valley and also other parts of the Los Angeles region. And it's also the most heavily driven and filled with traffic spots in the freeway system in Los Angeles. Now, let's talk about traffic. And we talk about that a lot in Los Angeles. We have apps and news cycles that are dedicated just to traffic because it is a beast. And we don't have rush hour here. We have free hour, as I like to call it. Basically, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., you have a much lighter commute on those freeways. It's fairly open. Unless there's an accident, then it all goes to hell. If you're commuting to work prior to then or after, which most people are, you're going to be sitting in heavy traffic. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. Sometimes just to go about 7 miles, it could be an hour. It is nuts. And that's in certain parts of the San Fernando Valley, 405, 101 interchange. And your side streets are not any better. I know people try to use Waze or Google Maps or whatever it is that you want to get around. They do their best, but you're going to be stuck in traffic whether you're on the freeway or on the main roads. There are other ways to get throughout the valley and into the West LA area and through the canyons and roads. Sometimes I do recommend taking those routes because it is a little bit faster than sitting on the freeway. But again, if you're not someone who's really thrilled about sitting in traffic or doesn't want to be commuting for a long time, then you're going to be looking for places to live where you work as well. Now, for me, not a big deal. I grew up in the area, so I'm so used to sitting in traffic that I just put on a good podcast, put on some music, and I relax. Now, I know that sounds crazy because most people go crazy in their car when they're sitting in traffic. And it's understandable. It's taking a long time. You've got to add that much time to your day, and it takes that much time out of your life to drive, which seems a little nuts when all you want to do is get somewhere. So it can be very aggravating, but for me, again, I'm used to it. We'll see how you react to it once you're here. But something you're certainly going to be aware about is the traffic here. Oh, and I will mention the mass transportation system, again, is not the greatest. If you're in the San Fernando Valley, you're most likely going to jump on the Orange Line if that's something that you want to look for. The Orange Line will take you through the valley east and west from Woodland Hills on the west all the way through kind of North Hills to the east side of the valley. Now let's talk about lifestyle. The San Fernando Valley in general is relaxed, chilled, laid back.
Laid back.
And it's actually one of the things that attracted my wife and I to the area. Now, we came up from the west side area, which had a little bit more of a nightlife, but we were getting ready to start a family, and we wanted something with a little bit more chill feel, so we decided to make that move to Encino in the San Fernando Valley. If you are someone that is looking for that nightlife, the clubs, the bars, you can find a little bit of that in the San Fernando Valley. Usually it's going to be along the Ventura Boulevard corridor, which is the heart and artery soul of the valley. It runs east and west throughout the entire valley section. And specifically, those places are going to be in like Sherman Oaks, Studio City, Burbank, Universal City. Those are the neighborhoods and cities that you're going to find more of that nightlife. Outside of that, especially if you go north into the valley, it's more relaxed. People are just here to chill. They hang out in parks. They like to go do a lot of stuff outdoors and hike because we're just surrounded by so many hiking areas. So if you're looking for that chill, kind of relaxed suburban feel, San Fernando Valley is definitely your spot. But that nightlife is going to be a little bit hard to find. So if you're looking for that, you're going to want more of the west side or the east end of Los Angeles. Now keep staying tuned because we got some great things coming up in the video, like local names and local phrases that you're going to definitely need to know when moving to the San Fernando Valley, as well as what the job market is like, and of course the cuisine in the San Fernando Valley. So now let's talk about the next fact that you're going to need to know, and that's the weather. If you're coming from other parts of the country or even other parts of Los Angeles, you've got to be prepared to know that the San Fernando Valley is hot.
It's too hot.
Especially during the spring and summer months, it can be brutally hot, stifling. We're talking triple digits for many times of the year. Now, in general, Los Angeles has great weather, and when you're in the valley, we can't complain too much because we don't get a lot of rain and we don't get a lot of snow, which I know can be quite burdensome for people that are living outside of this Los Angeles weather bubble. But just be prepared when you're in the valley that it is a lot hotter than it is, especially than the west side and even parts of East Los Angeles. The valley just kind of, because it sits in the valley, surrounded by mountains, all the heat gets trapped there and just sits there and bakes and boils you. And a lot of times it makes it to where you just don't really want to be outside, or if you are outside, you've got to find a place that has really tall trees and good coverage so you can be in the shade. We're talking about an average of around 75 degrees throughout the year, which is fantastic. We're not shoveling snow. We don't need extra rain clothes. We don't need a lot of umbrellas. We're not in our beanies all day and wearing different types of gloves to keep our hands warm during the cold. So we can't complain about that. But where it does get brutal is basically between the months of July all the way through pretty much end of September, even into October, where you're in the 90s and triple digits into the hundreds. Now, the triple digits don't last for months and months and at a time, but they can last a good week throughout those months that I just mentioned. And if you're into someone who likes seasons, you're really not going to find that in the San Fernando Valley. So just be prepared for that, come the holidays, like Thanksgiving, it could be most likely around 80, 85 degrees. And when you're talking about into like the Hanukkah Christmas season, you can still be in the 80 and 85 degrees. And when you're in the heart of the summer, you're easily in the 90s for weeks on end, and then 100, 105, all the way up to 120. And at that point, there's not a whole lot of you can do about it because it is just that hot. So you can get a little bit of relief by going over the hill along the 405 freeway into the West LA area. And it's amazing the temperature difference. It can easily drop 20 degrees where it's a lot more comfortable. Now, I will say where the heat comes in handy is in the early mornings and your evenings. If you're someone that likes to work out during the morning, it's nice. You go outside and it's already like 70 degrees out, so it's a very comfortable run for you. Or if you like to hang out at night just in your backyard, you could have these really nice dinners in your backyard outside, or take a walk through the neighborhood, or go for an evening hike, and you're in the 70s then. So it could actually be quite freeing because you can be outdoors and outside for that long and throughout the entire year, which is very different from many parts of the country. So make sure you're prepared for those hot summer months. Get tons of sunscreen. You're going to want to invest in that, that's for sure. And don't say I didn't warn you. As a reminder, if you are enjoying this video, make sure you hit that like button so this video can get shared with many other people thinking about making the move to the San Fernando Valley. Now, this next category is a fun one. We're going to be talking about names and phrases that are local to the San Fernando Valley and the Los Angeles area. So when you get here, you can sound like a local or at least know what people are talking about when they're speaking with you. And the first one we're going to talk about is the Valley. I mentioned it before in the video, but we don't refer to the San Fernando Valley as the San Fernando Valley. We refer to it as the Valley, and everybody knows what you're talking about. It is iconic in the Los Angeles area. So when you're here, no reason to say the whole name, just say the Valley. Another key phrase you're going to want to know before moving to the Valley is the Boulevard. The Boulevard is referring to Ventura Boulevard, and Ventura Boulevard is the main artery that runs east and west throughout the San Fernando Valley. And you're going to want to know this because no one refers to Ventura Boulevard as Ventura Boulevard. They all call it the boulevard, and you either live north of the boulevard or you live south of the boulevard. Another phrase that you're going to want to get used to is we put the word the in front of the freeway name. And we don't necessarily use the name of the freeway as in the Ronald Reagan Freeway or the Santa Monica Freeway. They just become the 118, the 405, the 10, the 101. It's always the and then the number of the freeway. Now, I think a lot of that has to do with because the freeway system has become so much a part of our culture and who we are as a city that it just has become ingrained in our language, and it has got a surname now. So the and then the freeway number, just so you can sound like a local. Now we're going to talk about the phrase the industry. Now, if you are in the industry, you probably know what I'm talking about. But if you aren't in the industry, you may not. However, if you live in Los Angeles, everyone knows what the industry means, and that is referring to basically the entertainment industry. Because Hollywood is so big here, and Universal and Burbank, or many of the studios are, the industry is just the known nomenclature when you're talking about the entertainment industry. And because the San Fernando Valley has so many of these studios in it, you're going to hear that quite a bit when you're talking to people. Now, the next phrase you're going to want to know is animal style. I don't want to know where your mind's going, but in Los Angeles and the San Fernando Valley, you're definitely going to want to know that term because it is referencing one of the most iconic ways to prepare the hamburger at In-N-Out Burger. Now, if you haven't heard of In-N-Out Burger, which you may not have because it's only really local to California, Nevada, and now Oregon and Arizona, it is the hamburger spot of choice. It is very well known and one of the most popular burger places in the San Fernando Valley. And animal style is a way you can get your French fries, or anything for that matter that you order off the menu, prepared. Basically, it is the Thousand Island dressing put on your French fries or whatever it is that you're ordering from In-N-Out Burger. So again, animal style. You're also going to want to know the phrase NoHo and WeHo. Again, not sure where your mind's going, but NoHo is referring to North Hollywood, which is in the San Fernando Valley, and WeHo is referring to West Hollywood, which is adjacent to the Hollywood area. Both of those have been shortened, so if you are in the Los Angeles area and someone says NoHo or WeHo, don't take offense. Just know that it's referring to North Hollywood and West Hollywood. All right, there's two more I'll share with you. There's many more. If you know of some, make sure you comment below, whether you're not from the area and it's something you learned, or if you're from the San Fernando area and there's something that I missed or that I got wrong, make sure you put it in the comments below. So the next one is dirty dog. Now, the dirty dog is referring to a bacon-wrapped hot dog that you're going to find at tons of street carts and vendors selling hot dogs along the road, and it is one of the most delicious meals that you're going to have. It is spectacular. So if you're into bacon and you're into hot dogs, make sure you order the dirty dog. The last one I'm going to leave you with is something that I use a ton. It's something I grew up with, and that's the word dude. It's become part of pop culture, but you are going to hear it a lot in the San Fernando Valley and in Los Angeles throughout. The word dude, we use it for pretty much everything. Oh, bonus one, because it is such a valley term, we are going to go with the word like. It becomes a filler, like I'm talking to you, or hey, you know what, it's like this, or like, you know what I mean? Anytime you throw in that word like, it pretty much originated in the San Fernando Valley, and it actually became very popular with what we call the Valley Girls.
Oh, your roomie's a Valley girl.
So those are some of the phrases that you're going to want to know before making the move here. Again, there's many more, and I can't wait to hear and see in some of the comments of any of the words and phrases that you know. All right, our next category is diversity. Now, I'm talking about diverse people, diverse culture, diverse food, ethnicity, race, religion, lifestyle. It is all here in the San Fernando Valley, and I love it. It is something that I was exposed to as a kid growing up. I felt it was second nature to see people of all different culture, all in the same area, very little segregation. And there are different pockets that people gravitate to because I think that's just natural. That when that happens, people like to live close to people that they're familiar with. But in general, when you're in the San Fernando Valley, you're going to see it all and experience it all. And when I was growing up, it was incredible because I felt like I was exposed to kind of a worldly experience. Whereas throughout my travels throughout the country and the world, I don't necessarily see that in many parts of the country. And so I would say when you move here, to be ready and prepared to experience a diverse range of culture and exposure to it. And it's awesome because you get to learn about so many different types of people and their customs, and you get to experience and take part in it, that I feel it just kind of really opens up and expands your horizons. So when you move to the San Fernando Valley, it's something that you're definitely going to experience, and I think you're going to enjoy it. All right, let's talk about the job market. It may be one of the reasons you're moving to the San Fernando Valley, but if it's not, you may want to watch this so you have an understanding of what type of career you can have when you move to the San Fernando Valley. Now, we have many industries that have made their home here in the valley. Now, one of the biggest industries here is the industry. As I mentioned before, the entertainment industry has made its home here in the San Fernando Valley, with many studios and production companies and post-production companies scattered throughout the valley. We do have major studios in the Burbank area and also in Universal, including Universal Studios, which has its own amusement park. You also have Warner Brothers, you have Disney, and all the studios give you backlot tours. You can go to live tapings and live shows. So it's kind of a cool thing to experience. But if you are in the industry and you're looking for work, they have those major studios. Also, they have major networks here in the San Fernando Valley. ABC, NBC, and CBS have made their home here as well. Other big industries to note are the aerospace industry, the healthcare industry. We've got tons of hospitals and clinics all scattered throughout the San Fernando Valley. Now, the educational institutions in the San Fernando Valley also provide great career opportunities and a big job market. We have California State University Northridge, which is a major university in Southern California. We have the private institution of Woodbury and 4 community colleges. All of those institutions provide many jobs throughout the San Fernando Valley. We also have an array of professional services that make up a big part of the job market here in the San Fernando Valley, anywhere from legal to CPA to project management to digital marketing to content marketing and logistics. Now, most of these professional services you're going to find actually along the Ventura Boulevard corridor. Ventura Boulevard isn't just known for entertainment and restaurants, it is also known for where most of the businesses are located. So in making that move to the San Fernando Valley, just know that you are going to have a lot of opportunities when it comes to jobs and careers, and we pretty much have it all. Anything you can imagine is right here in the San Fernando Valley. All right, the next thing you're going to want to know before moving to the San Fernando Valley is we have a big outdoor lifestyle here. If you are someone that loves to be outside,
The great outdoors, Moira.
going to the park, walking, biking, running, hiking, the San Fernando Valley is your spot. And a lot of people are into this. There are clubs made for all of these recreations. All of your neighbors are probably doing hiking or going to ask you to go for a hike or a walk around the park. It is just something that has become ingrained in the culture in the San Fernando Valley. Now, part of it is because the weather is so great that you can be outdoors for much of the year. It's also because we're surrounded by mountain ranges and hills. So there's just a lot of hiking trails that are so easily accessible that give you these great views of the valley itself. And if you actually go far enough towards the west, you can cross over and see views of the ocean. And it is a really cool experience. And you have lots of bike paths throughout the valley. You have bike lanes on the streets. You've got big park systems that have their bike paths. You also have certain communities and neighborhoods within the valley that are geared towards making it more walkable. And you have these major shopping centers that are outdoors that are also encourage you to be outside. So you should know that when you're moving to the San Fernando Valley, that if you're not already into an outdoor lifestyle, you may have to adopt it, because most likely your friends and family and neighbors that live here are going to want to ask you to go for a hike, go for a bike ride, or a walk outside. Now, this next fact is something you're definitely going to want to know about before making the move to the San Fernando Valley, and that is the Boulevard. I mentioned it before in the fun phrases that you're going to want to know, and that's Ventura Boulevard.
Ventura Boulevard.
The life source, the artery that runs through the entire San Fernando Valley, east and west. It is where most of your entertainment, your shopping, your food, that's your destination when it comes to the San Fernando Valley, and everybody knows about the Boulevard from wherever you live in the valley. Now, it's not the only place you need to go or have to go for entertainment. There are plenty of cool spots throughout the entire valley that have great shopping and great food and entertainment. But everyone knows about Ventura Boulevard. I mean, it's been made popular in pop culture and movies and songs. it's just a known fact about the Boulevard. And it's a fun spot to go, and each neighborhood that the Ventura Boulevard runs through has its own unique feel. So it's something you can experience when you make that move here. So again, you're going to want to make sure you know about Ventura Boulevard. All right, now if you're a foodie, if you're someone that loves to eat like myself, you're going to want to know about the food here in the San Fernando Valley. And just like I mentioned how we have a diverse culture, we have diverse food options. Anything you can imagine is here in the San Fernando Valley, and it's awesome because you can experience food from all over the world, and it's very unique, and it's something you can't experience in most places. And I just love it. I mean, we have food from the Mediterranean, Italian, Mexican, Japanese, Chinese, Korean, Thai, Filipino, Russian, German, Cuban, Persian, Israeli, English, Argentinian, Brazilian, Portuguese, Sri Lankan. You name it, it is here. We've got it all, and it's a great experience. Not only do we have foods from all over the world, but we're also talking about different price points. You know, anything from quick, fast eats all the way to your super high-end, expensive restaurants and everything in between. You really have many options here throughout the entire San Fernando Valley. And when people talk about food, they make it a destination. The only thing I will say is sometimes these restaurants can be pretty packed, so you may have to wait in line or make sure you make those reservations for those very popular spots. So the food scene in the San Fernando Valley is incredible, and it doesn't get much better. Something else you may want to know before moving to the San Fernando Valley is that we are surrounded by mountains. Now, why is that important? Well, it's what creates our weather patterns and traps all the heat in the valley, and it also creates the wind tunnels during the Santa Ana winds. And so to the north, you have the Santa Susana Mountains and the San Gabriel Mountains. That basically is going to separate you from the Santa Clarita Valley, where you've got the Magic Mountain Amusement Park, a lot of horse property, ranch land, and a lot of new construction because a lot of people are moving north. To the south, you've got the Santa Monica Mountains. That's going to separate you from Brentwood, Santa Monica, Pacific Palisades, all the way down west to the ocean. And then you have the Hollywood Hills on the south. That separates you from Beverly Hills and the Hollywood area. Now, it's cool to be surrounded by these mountain ranges because it provides a lot of outdoor activities, as mentioned before. A lot of hiking trails. You can get city views, valley views, and ocean views depending on which range you go to. So again, just know that you're going to be surrounded by mountains. If you're into that, it's a really cool view and something you may want to know. So now you have 11 things that you may have not known about, but now you do before making that move to the San Fernando Valley. As always, I'm here to help. Make sure you reach out to us, give us a call, shoot us a text or an email, and we'll help you with that move. If you like the video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, tap the bell to get notified for the next one. See ya.